This is Boots. He's an automated liquid handling platform at Helix Laboratory in La Jolla. He gets his name from a star constellation and shouts it out loud anytime he needs attention from lab staff like Jason Nguyen.
Booties, booties, bo.
Well, he has trouble with the double O, so it's Booties.
So it's Boots, but we can't get a robot to say that.
In a room full of similar devices, Boots' calls alert Nguyen that his machine needs help.
To get attention there, it calls out its name, and then you can just go directly there. So each one of these we've personified.
Boots is the first in a series of automated machines running COVID tests from county sites, and they demand consistency. But today, Boots can't find the barcode on one of the dozens of test tubes he's about to handle.
Booties, booties.
Nguyen thinks frequent use of hand sanitizer may have rubbed a bit of it off.
Yeah, we have some with the known issue with the alcohol.
The minor hiccup requires Nguyen to enter the ID manually and another person to verify. Machines like Boots and his roommate, Cassiopeia, depend on uniformity to process thousands of tests in a day. But their services and the daily supplies needed to keep them running are in high demand across the country.
We're doing something like 600,000 tests a day in the US. 3 months ago, 6 months ago, we didn't do any of those.
Mark Laurent is vice president of operations at Helix, the lab where Boots resides. The startup focuses on the human genome, but jumped into COVID testing as the need grew.
Every single one of that tests requires a tube. That's every day. So these are millions of tubes a week that essentially were not planned for.
Helix needs at least 2,000 tubes a day for its testing agreement with the county, but Vice President of Quality and Research and Development David Becker says it's not easy to use just any tube.
You don't get a tube that is half an inch in diameter one day and 3/4 of an inch in diameter the next day. That your robotic systems and your processes don't handle those very well.
It can take time and human effort to reprogram with every fluctuation. Helix operations head Laurent says they work directly with producers to better handle any upcoming challenges.
We've been working directly with the manufacturer to understand what options they had at time for a given week. To understand, okay, so the normal supply is constrained. Do you have another tube that's close enough that we could adjust to and work with?
There are even greater constraints on the chemicals that help detect coronavirus and plastic tips that pour them, called pipettes. Machines are proprietary, and these components aren't always interchangeable. Plus, about a dozen pipettes are required for every specimen, and they're each tossed in the trash after use. This can mean limited options when a supplier runs out. County health officials dealt with a similar dilemma earlier this month. A supplier said it had to temporarily cut the county's weekly shipments of collection materials, also known as testing kits.
We were facing a real tough situation of needing to close down some of our county testing sites.
County Health Agency Director Nick Mascione says Helix provided a last-minute reprieve.
Our ability to test will stabilize because of this new partnership. But we're always looking to bolster our resources. In fact, that's how we found Helix.
CEO Mark Stapley said Helix made some decisions to help reduce restrictions on its testing kits. They selected a type of swab that's more abundant, at least for now, and a transport media that can stay at room temperature instead of chilled.
You need the refrigeration either in the packaging or the transportation itself in order to keep everything at a stable temperature. And so we've obviated that issue with the supply chain by picking the transport media we did.
Still, the company will have to further navigate the challenges as it plans to significantly expand its testing capacity to 10,000 by the fall and possibly even grow to 25,000. That'll use other machines known as sequencers that Helix staff nicknamed Vesuvius and Fuji. But the first stop in the process will still be Boots.
Booties, booties.
Sorry, Booties. Tarryn, Mento, KPBS News.